Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heels Off at Home, where we talk about current affairs, life, careers, and everything in between.
It is the season finale of Heels Off at Home, and we have had such an incredible season of banter, great conversation, good laughs, and hopefully, triggering and insightful conversations. So it's only right we ended off this season talking back to our haters. I'm joking, no. No, we have loved the engagement that you have given us in the comments this season. And we thought we'd have this episode just reading through some of the comments, good, bad, and the ugly, and laughing about them, also giving a bit of our opinion on them as well. So yeah, let's get into it, because some of these comments were so juicy. Ladies. All right, Toni, go for it. Which has been like the funniest comment, or a comment that's just stood out to you this season that you were like, damn.
Okay, if I'm gonna go by funny, and kind of like funny because it's so stupid. This one made me laugh.
Go on.
Yeah, it's just you women in their 30s declined like a MasterCard, not fertile compared to a woman 18 to 22. Women in their 30s are finished. That was hilarious. That was so hilarious. You know what? It's so funny because I don't know what it is about people and I say people, this was a man that wrote it, and he will remain unnamed. We'll call him Voldemort for this episode. So Voldemort wrote this, right? And one thing I noticed about this Voldemort guy, he loves to comment under our video. I'm convinced he has a crush on one of us. He has a crush on one of us. Obsessed. But it's crazy because people sometimes run with this narrative like women in their 30s are finished. When I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of the women I look up to, their careers in their 30s, thriving. Family life in their 30s, their appearance, their confidence, their everything thrive, like 30s and thriving, baby. So yeah, that one was funny because I was like, look at him projecting.
Do you know what it is as well? Like, it's so interesting. We did a whole video on ageism and how the society tends to put down women as they get older. Apparently, once you're 30, you're not beautiful again. Once you're 30, you can't marry again. Once you're 30, you're just jobless. It's just like... And yet it's the same men, and I'm going to say it's the same men that perpetuate that same narrative that once women are older or in their 30s or 40s, it's like their life is finished now. They just have to settle with everything. And it's just like, so you're making our 20s, this 10-year decade, 10 years out of average life expectancy of like 70 to 80. One decade is all we have to get the baddest job, get the baddest husband, the baddest wife, get a family, have a family, have a house. Just in this one decade, it's just like, it's impossible. It doesn't even make sense
at all. And like the 20s, I've always said the 20s is your first decade of adulthood. Like that's when people are figuring stuff out. Like we need to cut each other some slack. But you know what was funny about this? He said, you women in your 30s decline like a MasterCard. I'm sorry, Voldemort, but my MasterCard does not decline. Maybe yours does. Maybe yours does.
Okay.
Or maybe yours does. And that's why you use that metaphor. But anyway.
We move. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Next season, let's nip the bud on this whole once you're 30s, you're finished. We're not doing that. Come on, it's 2020. Like, people are living their best lives in their 30s. More stability, more money, more security. A better understanding of who we are.
Yeah,
you're not gonna. What 22-year-old, and no shade, some 22-year-olds might have it all together, but like I said, the 20s are the decade to be experimental. What else has been? Okay, I'm gonna... Y'all were coming for me this season, guys. Y'all were really coming for me. Okay, so in one of the episodes, it said that Mercedes is a classic pick-me. Picking who? What are we picking? How? So apparently I was a pick-me because the background is full of trainers. And I was also a pick-me because I didn't like wear makeup and stuff like that. And like, I was just, I don't know, I'm trying to like be with the homeboys or whatever it is because of trainers. ridiculous.
That logic is so weird to me, because it's like if you're like covered in makeup and you have heels and everything in the background, they could equally be like, oh, you're such a pick-me, you're trying to be so look at you trying to be so attractive and appealing, and it's like you can't win with the internet. That's why all these comments are funny. Like, and also they clearly don't know you because you live in some trainers. You've been living in some trainers. Like,
exactly.
That is hilarious.
I just don't understand. Like, and they also said, in one of the comments that you know, when we were talking about hypergamy, they were like, oh, the fact that she doesn't wear makeup means that she's going to attract guys from Brixton over the guys from Kensington and Chelsea. And I'm just like, you are the same guys and the same ladies who would be like, oh, embrace your natural beauty, embrace your natural skin, wear your natural hair. But because I'm not doing that in this episode around hypergamy, it means I am not deserving of a guy from Kensington or Chelsea.
But I feel like we should read some nice ones too, because I want to give
the
nice ones. Rita, do you have any nice ones that you've spotted?
Yeah, let me see. Oh, I just saw future single mothers. Abba.
Nice.
Like, why? No. Why? Okay, let's try and find a good one.
Oh, God.
Okay, this is a nice one about you, Mercedes. Mercedes should have a future in TV.
Agreed.
She is quite clever and all her observations are quite lucid. I hope someone is looking at this.
Oh, that's a nice comment.
I appreciate you, and yeah, you know, TV scouts, writers. I'm here.
Wait,
Let me.
Who said that? Because I feel like we should shout out the usernames of the nice people.
Okay, yeah. So this one was RL Hasstick. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Okay, that's sweet.
That was quite
Thank
nice.
you so much. Thank you. I mean, if any, you know, TV networks wants to put heels off on their TV shows and stuff, then you know.
I got one that says, "Doesn't Rita look like Tiwa Savage?" Love struck.
All the time.
Do you get that a lot?
Listen, I get that all the time. Like, do you know what? At one point, I used to get it like every week, but I haven't had it as like consistently for a bit. But I've heard that a lot.
But then I don't see it.
But when I met her, I was like, oh, by the way, so many people say that we look alike. She was like, really? And I was like,
I don't see it.
Maybe not that many.
Oh, you know, that reminds me of, who was that celeb that got told they look like someone and then they were just so like blunt about it?
Chili.
Yeah.
It was Chili.
Like, that's too funny. Wow. Okay.
Another one that I really loved, and this was by Soraya Karina 1. This was the episode when we were talking about kind of like our careers. And she goes, wow, this really helped me and was so nice to hear that I'm not the only creative that is going through this. I'm in my early 20s, but have an idea of what I want to pursue now, which is different to what I got a degree in. Very motivational and helpful. Thank you, gorgeous girls. Love that.
Oh, that's lovely. That's really sweet.
That's actually really nice.
You know what? That's what I really get out of like doing this with you ladies, is like knowing that on the other side of the screen there are people watching that we could potentially help through like sharing our own experiences. So that's really sweet.
Yeah, and I really liked that episode because it showed how diverse all of our pathways were into, you know, being able to create the life and the career that we currently have, and that we kind of always wanted to do, but just didn't understand how those passions and those gifts will manifest. So just to kind of show that, guys, like, this is a marathon, not a sprint. We're not going to have it all together. We're only figuring this out in our late 20s, early 30s, and we still have so many more goals to reach and achieve. So this is just the beginning. At this age, it's just the beginning for us. So you guys have time. Trust me.
Yeah, 100%. What other comments do we have?
I have a really nice one here. Well, I assume it's nice because I love water sign women. It says, I'm sensing big Pisces energy from Rita. Lol, I'm a Pisces and I can just see it. Are you a Pisces, Rita?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
I am actually a Pisces, yeah.
I wonder why.
Like,
I wonder what gave it away.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I was thinking. What episode was that, do you know?
No, I don't know. And this is from CC1. Someone said, I love this. It's so relatable. We need to keep having these discussions as women. New heart, love heart, new subby. This was Shan K too. And again, this is like what we love about it. Like, we want to be relatable. We want people to watch like Heels Off and be like, oh, like I can relate to at least one person on the show. I can relate to this experience. So that is really nice.
Amazing.
That's actually a really nice one. I love those kind of comments, you know. Really, really nice.
So another comment which was quite interesting. So it kind of started off positive and then it kind of got a little bit negative, which is, I've realised a lot of people love to give backhanded compliments, which is great, but you know, I want you guys to keep it a buck. If you're going to cuss me, then just stick to
your chest. Use your
chest.
chest.
You know? So this person said, I respect you sisters. You have a positive platform. Do not lead young women the wrong way. Tell women the truth. To have kids in their best fertile years, 18 to 23. I'm not reading this incorrectly. This is just how they've typed. And that they will be miserable in their 30s, thinking about science, and that female eggs start to die at 27. The decline is rapid. Lead the youth properly. Use your platform positively. You would get more of a following. I think the black community need you sisters, but talk on proper topics positively. And most of you girls are African.
What's the issue with us being African, please? Why is it saying it like that's an insult?
I don't know.
I don't know which one of you lot insulted this guy, you know. The energy he has.
The energy.
Mad.
I need the girl who hurt him to apologise.
To come
like,
forward.
The African girl who hurt him to apologise, clearly.
Honestly,
no, you know what? It's
you
mad.
need to heal.
Where he's saying like, oh, he keeps saying in your 30s you'll be miserable. Like, I cannot speak for everyone, but I turned 30, was it last year or the year before? Last year. So far, yeah, when I
best
say
year.
the 2 years I've had, lit. And I'm not even guessing. Like, I feel like people can kind of see that. People who know me can kind of see that. Career, I know what I want to do. When it comes to money, I'm not living in overdraft like when I was in my 20s. When it comes to relationships, like I have found someone who values me because I valued myself more, because I got more confident. Like when I say 20s compared to 30s, yeah, no comparison. It's only been 2 years in. So I feel like, again, there's a lot of projection here. Maybe this person isn't particularly happy with their 30s. And then I also don't like the fact that this man keeps emphasizing fertile years, 18 to 23. Don't lead women astray. But I actually think a lot of women, each to their own, but I actually think a lot of women shouldn't have children in that age, because in that age we are very much still figuring out what we want to do in life. So if you do happen to have a child, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I do want to stress that. And there's no right age to have a child. But I do think encouraging women from the ages of 18, I would never encourage my sister, or would have encouraged my sister to say, oh, between 18 and 23, you need to get pregnant. No, you need to travel the world.
Exactly.
Such an archaic view. And you can look at his name.
Another one, B1 said, thank you to all of you for having these candid conversations. It's good to see black women being vulnerable. You're all amazing black queens. I love that.
Lovely. I love that. That is so sweet.
Thank you. So nice. And I think it's important that we are as vulnerable as we can be on these platforms, because it just allows for honest conversations to happen. Like, we know that not everyone is going to agree with us. The fact that we all have different opinions and views is important for us to be able to show that society is different. We're not saying that whatever we say on this show is facts, but it's just based on our personal views, our personal opinions. It's not meant to be something you take away and you say is a fact. You go away and do your research after watching our show, and you come up with your own opinion. So I love the fact that we can do that.
Yeah, Majesty, I think that's 1 month ago. Majesty said, this is my first time watching this. This was really good. Loved what everyone said. Becoming a fan. So that's really nice as well.
I think we've gained quite a few followers this season as well.
Which is nice. Yeah. Really, really nice.
Oh, this is a good one about you, Toni. This is from Lyrical. Toni Tone, I love your brain, man. So articulate and coherent in getting your point straight. Wish I could articulate myself like that when I'm pissed off. Agreed.
Oh, that's so sweet. It took practice though. It took practice. I've not always been the most articulate person or the most leveled person, if you will. So I think as you get older, it helps. Again, why I'm an advocate that as you get older, life gets better, because you figure out life a bit more. Yeah, and how to navigate life a bit more. So thank you, Lyrical. That's really sweet.
Would you say you have any tips on tricks on how you can be more articulate or embrace critical thinking before you just respond? Because I think sometimes, even myself, like I'll process a thought or process an emotion, but the words just kind of like bleh sometimes. But I do think what's really great about you is that you really kind of pause then respond. So is there like a thought process going through your mind before you respond or talk about certain topics or themes, or it just comes to you? Like,
you know what, I have always said that I've learned more from my failures than my successes, and in my 20s I did an awful job of allowing my emotions to get the better of me when it came to like reacting impulsively. And I've been in situations in the past in my 20s that really, really resonated with me, where I've been in discussions with particular people and they've said to me, Toni, you don't listen to understand, you listen to reply. And when they said that, I was like, I can't be this person. Like, this is not the woman I want to be. I don't want to be unnecessarily combative or just like, you have to hear my opinion. I want to be able to like have conversations with people and allow them to feel like I'm understanding their perspective, even if I don't agree. And so I think that the step one, after I got that feedback in my like early mid 20s, was listen. So I started off just listening. And then I think the more I listened, the more I realized, okay, this is like obviously a key step in communication. So when I'm talking to people, I'm trying to do my very best job to really listen to what they're saying. And then when I want to speak, I try my best to, okay, I've let them finish. Now I've listened, I've really tried to understand what they're saying, and then I'm going to respond. Because I think it's very easy for us to sometimes think we're listening, but we're hearing, we're not actually listening. So I think that helps. And I think just practice as well. So just like practicing, and one way to do that is through having like deep discussions with friends. So you know how on like Hills Off we talk about like serious matters, or we have like debates, like not just doing that if you're on a show or if you're having to present something, like having deep discussions, even with your group of friends when you're out and about, or with just random people or in the workplace. Like people knew me in my old job as being that girl who just like, everyone's just doing work, and then all of a sudden we're talking about this like major life issue because Toni started a conversation about XYZ. So like trying to generate those discussions, and I think the more you have them, the more you get better at like debating and discussing. But like listening, I think is definitely key. But that's really sweet, thank you. So someone said, I think this was obviously I wasn't involved in the hypergamy episode because I had to do a personal thing, but someone said, you're over 30, you can't date up.
What?
Let me tell you something, you know what? No,
go on. I know where you're going with this, and I feel like they need to know.
First of all, okay, so this is interesting where they're saying, oh, you're over 30, you can't date up. Now, this just tells me that the man who said this is a man who determines that a woman's worth is intrinsically tied to her appearance. And yeah, society says that a lot, but there are different kinds of men. And I feel like there are men who are developed, and developed men do not work according to just numeric data. They work according to actual attraction. As in, a woman could be 40, and if I'm attracted to her, I'm attracted to her. And they developed men also work towards communication and intelligence. And it's not just about, oh, she's young. It's about, am I attracted to her? Can I hold a conversation with her? Can I see myself building a partnership with her? And those men that are developed, they're usually the ones who have the option to, they have the pick of the bunch, but because they're so developed, they go for women who aren't just young, but women who are about their business. And I'm just going to assume the man who wrote this, one, isn't about his business, and two, from experience and observation, I've noticed that, yes, there are a lot of men who are, if we're just talking about dating up in an economic sense, so financially wealthy, rich, or just comfortable, let's just even say comfortable men. Yeah, there are a lot of men that date very young women that are very, very young compared to them. But there are also a lot of men who are incredibly successful in their careers, but because their life was very career focused in their 20s and 30s, they end up settling down in their late 30s, early 40s. And there are a lot of men who end up settling down with women who are their age or who are extremely younger than them. And I've seen this firsthand. Like, we see this in the celeb world. We see a lot of celebrities that with super young people. Then we see people like George Clooney, who settled down quite young, and his wife is highly intelligent, highly attractive. Was she 22 when he met her? No.
Another comment that I really, really liked and I really want to manifest for us is, this was by Love Relationship Talk, and they said that we are the UK version of The Real. Looking forward to more episodes.
Oh, that's very sweet.
That's nice.
That is the plan.
Nice.
That I embrace that wholeheartedly.
I embrace that 100%.
So this is a comment by someone called Sky Adams. Sky said, I appreciate how different the women are on this platform. They have different opinions and they stand by it. It reminds me of my group of friends. I personally like this format. Less talk and more girl chat. When you're passionate and you can relate to a subject, it's normal to be excited and to cut people off from time to time. That's what makes it real. So I really like that one. I think that's nice, and that's from Sky Adams.
I like that, like, she's referred to it as girl chat, because that's literally it, ain't it? It's just us girls just having a chat with the camera there. You know?
I agree.
But that's quite a nice one.
Obviously, you know, we don't want to sound super dumbed down, but then at the same time, don't expect us to be coming out with like Cambridge and Oxford theses either. Like, it's just vibes, you know, like we're just chatting. So
this is an interesting one about open relationships. So someone said, this is Miss P, she said, open relationships never benefit the woman. Who in their right mindset would be comfortable for their husband or wife to be daggering someone else? This is someone you claim to love. Relationships to me is monogamy as a Christian. We keep celebrating celebrity and celebrity and celebrity and celebrity. Yet these people come out crying when their partner cheats. Do not go into marriage, which is meant to be a covenant. I would rather remain single than settle for an open relationship, all under the guise of Mrs. Somebody. What do you guys think of that? That's an interesting one.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree
100%. Like, just that whole thing of like just being eager. I think it goes back to like all the pressure that's put on us women, where it's like you kind of get to this point where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna settle anyway. I just have to be a missus. You know what I mean? I just have to get to this chapter of my life. And I feel like sometimes when you are rushing to like force something to happen that actually isn't for you, that's how these things can happen, when you do just settle for anything, even if it's not the best that you actually deserve. So even though it's not a deserve versus not deserve thing, because like we said in that episode, like for some people open relationships is their standard, like that's what they enjoy and that's what they love. But in relation to me and how I am and what I desire, open relationship is not it. And I agree with everything that sis said in that comment. So yes, absolutely.
I agree. I think that open relationship episode, it was a touchy one because it's not new, but it's becoming more widely discussed. And so sometimes, you know, just because something might be new to a mindset that has been the norm for a while, you don't want to be so quick to slander it, because I would be lying if I said I had full understanding of the intricacies of an open relationship, because I am so pro monogamy. So I think in that episode it was just like, we're not trying to we didn't want to condemn anyone. We don't want to condemn anyone, because anyone can do whatever they want. But this girl, for me, she did hit the nail on the head, only because of how I view marriage. And from a Christian perspective, yes, it is a covenant. So, you know, from a cultural perspective, I could be like, I don't want to share anybody. Like, my man is my man. But on a deeper level as well, it's just like, yeah, it's a precious kind of sacrament. So Yeah, I agree with her.
I guess my only issue with the statement, I think it is definitely a statement where this person is talking based on their own experiences and their, like you said, their own culture and their own views. This is their views for them. But I will say that my only issue with it is I do feel like the comment does kind of strip away autonomy for women when it comes to open relationships. Like, not every woman in an open relationship is doing it because either she's forced or she's trying to keep somebody. Sometimes it's the woman's idea. So for example, you could have a woman who, I think I've read something about a man who went through an accident and so he couldn't sexually satisfy his wife, and they entered an open relationship because she was getting the emotional intimacy from him and physical intimacy elsewhere. Or so you have women who are bisexual, for example, and they want to have intimate moments with both men and women, and their partner is open to that, and they are the people that are initiating that process. So that comment, like, while I get it from the perspective of someone who is obviously Christian, who sees marriage as a covenant, I totally understand that. Like I said in the episode, like, I believe in monogamy working, but I do think it does strip away the autonomy that some women have in that they are in control of their open relationships, in the sense of, like, they did not feel as if it's something they were pushed into or they were coerced into it, like it was their decision. So I do think, like you said, ultimately, Mercedes, it is about respecting people's beliefs and the way they navigate their relationships, and understanding that what might not work for you might work for someone else.
Yeah. And I do think there's a wider conversation to be had about sexual freedom and women. I feel like anytime, you know, the world talks about sexual freedom, if a woman is being seen to lead that conversation, it suddenly becomes she can't handle it or she's promiscuous. I don't think the world has fully accepted that women can be in charge of their sex life and in charge of their sexual wants and needs. So at the same time, I agree with you in the sense of, you know, we need to start debunking the idea that, you know, if anything outside of the norm is being initiated by a woman, it's because she doesn't want it or she's got the short end of the stick. It's not like we're not that emotionally incapable of handling things like that. It's just a choice. Do you know what I mean? So
So that's it for the last episode of this season of Heels Off. We hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. And I just want to stress, we had so many nice comments from you guys. A lot of them were like one sentence comments, like, this is amazing, great work, girls, we love this. But we just wanted to touch on the longer comments and have discussions and use them as focal points for this episode. But we appreciate all the love, we appreciate all the support. We see you guys RTing, we see you guys subscribing, liking, and it means a lot and it keeps us going. So we'll be back soon. It won't be too long. In the meantime, please continue to watch, please continue to like, please continue to comment, and please continue to subscribe. We hope you have loved this season of Heels Off. Bye everybody.
Bye.